when you get back to the big bad world, will this last? Is this all some fancy philosophy which is all nice in an ashram atmosphere? From day one, I have been warning you. Don't try to make anything out of it. Just imbibe it, see what happens. But you have been always cultured in your mind that if you go to some place, you must learn. You must pick up things, you must make notes, you must remember. This is a whole training in you. See, if I am teaching you engineering, not inner engineering, if I am teaching you, let's say, civil engineering or mechanical engineering, then you must remember, then you must use your intellect, then you must write down everything. It's important, isn't it? Or any other subject. But now we're only looking at you. You should not acquire knowledge about yourself, it's bound to be wrong. You should just acquire the capability to experience yourself the way you are right now. If you acquire knowledge about yourself, what would be the obvious thing? Let's say, I acquire knowledge about you. How? Then I'll conclude, okay, this is a good person, this is a bad person, that's a okay person, that's a all right person. The moment you make these conclusions, all possibilities are gone, please see this. No human being is anything particular. He could become anything the next moment, the possibility is there, isn't it? Whether they allow that or not, how many human beings have allowed that to happen is a different issue. But every human being, the next moment is a possibility that he could be something totally different from what he has been to this moment, isn't it so? We have not allowed that to happen simply because we are always busy drawing conclusions. The more conclusions we draw, the more we are concretizing our limitations, isn't it so? You understand what I'm saying? Now, this question of I'm feeling peaceful and nice right now, will it last when I get back, when I have to manage 1,000 people, will it last? That's a question. See, the question has come because you understand and you still believe, my natural self is angry self. That's not true. Your twisted out self is angry self, your natural self is blissful self, that's the original nature. Living in societies, living under pressures, you have gotten yourself twisted into different shapes, isn't it so? Living in particular societies, living under particular types of pressure, you get twisted out. But your original nature, your natural self was joyful and peaceful. If you do not know all those things, at least go back to your childhood and see. You see that you are peaceful and joyful by your own nature, isn't it? It is not something that you have to acquire by coming to the ashram. Being peaceful and joyful is not something that you have to attain to by coming to an ashram. It is your original nature. If you just learn how not to mess yourself, you being peaceful and joyful, you don't worry. That's the way it will be. That's the way life will be. That's the way life is. If you disappear from this planet, is this planet very peaceful and wonderful? Everything is the way it should be, isn't it? Because you are sitting here and going on judging, this is okay, this is not okay, something is all right, something is not all right. If you and me disappear from this planet, is everything perfect? Yes or no? Now, this is not a philosophy, this is not an ideology I'm trying to teach you. I just want you to drop everything that you have learnt and learn to look at yourself, come from your natural self. Being peaceful and joyful is no more effortful. It is not coming because you're doing some practice, you're peaceful. It's not like that. This is the way you are, and that's the way every human being is. Living under pressures, living under different situations, making different types of conclusions, we have made ourselves into twisted human beings. Now, I am not telling you to twist yourself into enlightenment. Enlightenment is not going somewhere. Enlightenment is just a homecoming, just falling back into your original nature. There was a time when our brochures used to say, Isha Yoga, from ordinary to extraordinary. So people came thinking that they are going to become special. So I would tell them, yes, from ordinary to extraordinary, more ordinary than anybody. When you have no need to be special, when you're not trying to be anything other than who you are extraordinary. Just see, when you're simply childlike, just handling situations according to your intelligence, not according to your compulsions, not according to the conclusions you have made, not according to your ethics or morals, simply out of your humanity, you will be in perfect peace and joyfulness. It doesn't matter what's happening. Why we have taught moralities to people is, somewhere lot of human beings started behaving like animals. So, we brought moralities. Morality is not a solution. Maybe morality is a control, but not a solution, isn't it? Isn't it so? No? Morality can be a control on a certain group of people for a certain period of time, but it's not a solution for human nonsense that's going on, isn't it? Only when people spring from their original nature, there is a solution. Otherwise, everything is just a patch-up. Will this work? Now, wherever you go, whether you are in Delhi or Bombay or on the ship or whatever your job is, whatever type of job you are doing, still, this moment being inevitable is still true, isn't it so? Is it true? If you are aware of it, do you notice that you are peaceful within yourself? So do not look at everything that is been given to you as a teaching. I think from day one I've been reminding you, this is not a teaching, this is not a philosophy, this is not a belief system, this is just a method. Learn to use the method. Don't try to remember it, don't try to understand it, don't try to make a philosophy out of it. Just learn to use the method. Here there is no teaching, no philosophy, no belief, just a method. It's a device. It's like learning to drive a car. You learn to drive the car. You are a Hindu or a Muslim or whatever nonsense you are, if you learn to drive a Maruti car, it goes, isn't it? Because you are a Hindu, it will fly better because it's Maruti, and you are a Muslim, it doesn't go, is it so? It's just a device, you learn to drive it. So this is just like that, this is just a device, you learn to use it. Whoever you are, whatever kind of job you are, whether you live in heaven or hell, it still works. If you use it as a method, but there is some aspect of your intellect which is always trying to make a philosophy out of it. Because the very nature of life is such, the way you have created till now is, you cannot live without a philosophy. Everybody needs a philosophy, but what you need to understand is, the greatest nonsense in the world, the most evil things on the planet are happening because people have a philosophy of their own. If you don't have a philosophy, you cannot sustain your nonsense, please see. The most horrible things that people are doing, if you go and ask them, they have a solid philosophy as to why they're doing it. Is that so? You go stop a drunkard and ask him, why are you drinking like this? You will see what a great philosophy he has as to why he is a drunkard. Usually drunkards have wonderful philosophies, isn't it? You stop a thief and ask him why he's a thief, he's got his own philosophy. And the moment you believe in philosophy, you don't have to exercise your intelligence moment to moment. Intelligence is not something that you have to use once in a way, it is something that must be on every moment. When it's on every moment, it can no more be a thought, it is just a perception. So shifting your intelligence from just being thinking to simply looking and seeing, this has to happen. All the practices you're doing is towards this direction, and you have to support it intellectually also to see that your intelligence does not become just a thinking process, but a looking process, capable of seeing everything just the way it is. Jnana means just this. Unfortunately, today Jnana Yoga means in the world, in our country at least, it's become like this. Gnana Yoga means you just believe in soul, Atman, Paramatman, soul goes and joins the Paramatman, where it docks, in which galaxy it docks, all this nonsense. See, you are just shifting into another kind of belief system. Gnana yogis are always laughing at the bhakti yogis because they believe all kinds of stuff. And now Gnana yogis are also believing something else. Gnana means not believing in anything, just making your mind like razor sharp. It is so sharp, it cuts through everything and simply sees everything the way it is. Making your mind into a pure perception, not thought, not conclusion, just pure perception. Simply seeing, not concluding about anything. Whatever conclusions you make about life are bound to be wrong, isn't it so? Isn't it so? People have made conclusions and conclusions and conclusions. It is one man's conclusion versus another man's conclusion, fighting. See, today and for all time, the fight on the planet has not between good and evil, as people believe. The fight in the world has always been one man's belief versus another man's belief. Is that so? You tell me, right now there's a big fight going on. Who is good, who is evil? Bin Laden is good or Bush is good? Both of them believe they're doing God's own work. Both of them firmly believe, I want you to know this, yes? Both of them firmly believe that they're doing good, isn't it so? So who is good according to you? All that you do is two good people will cause disaster on the planet, isn't it? So don't go at it as a moral, as an ethic or a value. This is a method, just learn to use it. It'll work anywhere, wherever you are. Whatever kind of situation you are, it'll work. If you are in touch with truth, it works anywhere. Understand? Now what I want to tell you is, what I want to equip you with is, suppose you happen to go to hell, I'm not wishing it. If you land up in hell, even there you must know how to be happy. That's my wish. I'm not wishing that you must go to heaven. My wish is, even if you go to hell, you must be such a person that you're capable of joy even in hell. You know, Gautama said this. Everybody was talking about going to heaven. Gautama said, I don't want to go to heaven, what will I do there? You say there is nothing much to be done there, what will I do in heaven? And you say people are suffering in hell, so let me go to hell and see what I can do. Why he's saying this is, he's telling people, I'm incapable of suffering. You put me wherever you want, I'm okay, so I'll go to hell. Even today, the Buddhist scriptures refer to Buddha like this. Buddha is in the lower world, not in the upper world. This is freedom, isn't it? So now, we are not thinking of what kind of situation you live in. If you are in touch with truth, it'll work anywhere. If you are aware, this moment is inevitable. Wherever you are, whichever city, whatever kind of job, you will see your insides will be in a certain way. Constantly the question is, all this is okay, but how do I do my job? I am not going to tell you how you do your job. You better know how to do your job, otherwise let you be fired. I am not here to tell you how to do your job. I am telling you how to keep yourself in any kind of job, how you should be in any kind of job, that's all. I am not telling you how you should do your job. You better learn how to do your job, isn't it? You think there is some formula, if I tell you do this and all your job will work out till your retirement? There's no such thing. You have to learn how to do your job. But how to be within yourself? How would you want to be? Your natural choice is to be peaceful and joyful, isn't it so? This is not something that I have to teach you. Your natural choice is to be peaceful and joyful. So, how to get there? That's all we are looking. If you want to get there, you must be in touch with the basic realities of life. If you're not in touch with it, it won't happen. If you try to bring intellectual solutions to inner situations, it'll not work. Your intellect is a wonderful instrument only to handle the physical realities of life. If you try to extend it to yourself, you will see you will be a disaster after some time. There's no question about this. You handle the physical realities with your intellect, it'll work. Physical realities must be handled logically, isn't it? Inner realities are not like that. You just stay with this. Is this moment really inevitable? Is it true? Just be with that, let's see. Whether you are in any of the forces, it'll work. Wherever you are, it'll work. Even if a battle comes, it'll work.